Some paths cannot be traveled without others. Welcome to the Abyss Garden. In this video, my partner and I are unboxing the first Duel Box from Mind Worlds. We will discuss the cards, the choices that lead to them, and a lot of other topics. I hope you'll enjoy. Alright. So what do we have here?
We have a Duel Box.
Exactly. So we made two Duel Boxes, basically. The first one we have the 4 first colors, the 4 first emotions.
Yeah.
Which are... So we have the joy, ecstasy thingy. Then this one is admiration, trust, etc.
Yes.
The third one? So it's terror. And the fourth, amazement. Okay. So I'm really happy with the box, personally.
Yeah, it looks super nice. I really like how it's done.
So it also shows all the cards for the first set that we have here. So that's for the... Yeah, that's the 2 first colors. Do we see them well on the... Yeah.
Also there...
Yeah, sorry. Up.
So these are the ones that are in the yellow-blue deck, and these are the ones from...
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. They are kind of matched
okay.
On this side. And up. On the other side we have the others.
Yes.
So I checked before, and we can actually read if you take a look.
Dang.
I wouldn't think that it would be that precise. But
yeah,
some information.
Nice.
The website and where to contact. And some stuff. A last mistake that I made. Here it says draft box. Should say dual box.
Yes.
I just changed it.
Okay.
So it's good. So what do we have here, roughly?
We have one randomized deck, which is called Stunned Glee.
Exactly.
Which is which one?
Stunned Glee, it's this one.
Okay.
So actually for the names, I'm not sure if I said it previously, is that I just took some synonyms of the emotions.
Yeah.
And tried to match them. Because like stunned is kind of a synonym of amazement. And glee is kind of a synonym of... Gesundheit. And glee is kind of a synonym of joy and
yes.
Ecstasy. So yeah, stunned glee. That's the first one. The second one
is alarmed fondness.
Exactly. And we have finally one booster of 72 cards. And
8
D6.
8 D6 black dice and 1 D20 black die.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know actually that it was called a die.
Yeah,
I had to check
it is indeed.
Yeah. And yeah, something that's interesting is that for this thing, so we have a big booster, 72 cards, because initially it would be like 4 usual booster of 18 cards, but it would be way costlier to buy.
Okay.
All right, should we open it?
Yeah.
So we talked about it before, but
there's an opening there.
There's an opening there. Thank you. Did you just break your bones?
No.
So we talked about it previously, but that's probably the box that we are going to end up using to test the cards. So we already had some beta testing, but now it's kind of the final cards of this first set. And it's the Duel Box that kind of that you'd prefer to use.
Yeah.
Compared to the other one that will probably go to my brother.
Somehow the color spoke more to me.
Yeah, me too. I also really like, because we played a bit and I really enjoy the amazement cards. Ecstasy cards are quite cool.
They're
too.
your style.
Exactly. Let's open it and see. There's probably quite a lot of...
It feels really nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
I really like
and it's easy to...
Yeah. It's smooth.
To remove. Yeah, it's smooth.
Some nice paper. It's probably gonna destroy the audio. Oh. Just put it on the side. Up. Put this on the side. So
yay,
we have the first deck, which is Alarmed Fondness. So yeah.
So one deck is 36 cards, right?
Yes, 36 cards.
Yeah.
So inside, I mean behind you actually have all the information about what's inside. Because, you know, for every combination of color, of emotion, you kind of have different stuff that makes sense. Because some care about themselves, some care about their friends, so the ones that are around them on the wheel. Some care about all of them, so themselves and the other ones.
Yeah.
and some care just about the amount of one color in the mind. So they have different mixes of the different colors, all the decks. So we have this first one, Alarm Fondness. Do you already have an idea of which one you'd like to use?
The stunned Glee really speaks to me.
Yeah, me too.
I have to admit, mainly because of the visuals, but it's a nice color combination.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe I shouldn't base my judgment on that.
I think it's a nice enough judgment. They should be roughly as powerful. I mean, also something important is that they are randomized decks, which is quite interesting because basically what's important is the amount of each intensity of thoughts in each color. The mix is important. And then since when you have the mix right, the deck should work, I thought it would be fun to have them randomized. So whenever you get one, you have a kind of a unique deck. And finally, so yeah, basically here, it tells you that you will have, for example, 6 fear thoughts.
Yeah.
But there are, for the moment, in the first set, 3 different fear cards.
Okay.
And so you don't know what combination of them you will have.
Yeah.
So it's these 3. The darkness characters. And finally we have the 72 card things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yes,
that's also randomized.
That's also randomized. And finally we have the...
But it also has a certain amount of, intense, strong, and chill cards.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same ratio as in the tiny boosters.
Yeah.
And some dice.
Oh, yay.
Oh, actually not bad.
What do you mean not bad?
Well, in the website they have pictures that somehow aren't really precise. But yeah, it's really nice.
Oh, they're kind of black.
Yeah,
see-through.
they're the black transparent ones. And a nice D20 to count the number of rounds left.
That's nice.
So, should we open one of the 2 decks?
Oh, yes, please.
Yours, please. Yours first.
Yes.
Do you want to open it?
Yes.
All right.
Are we good?
Ready to open it?
Should we?
Yeah. So, Stun Glee, I believe, is your pick.
Stunned Glee, yes. That's my pick.
So let's see.
To the left.
Yep, exactly.
Yes. That's how you do it.
Not using brute force, even though you can. You try. So yeah.
So.
Exactly. We said it before, but you do have this these big intense thoughts that are showed in the inside.
The long lost memories.
Yep.
And overflowing with emotion.
Yep. The ecstasy one.
Ta-da. Yay.
So inside we have the rules written in really tiny, but so anytime you would get either a booster or a deck, you still have the simple rules that are written inside.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah.
But we would also have the rules on the homepage.
Yeah, it's kind of written down there that you can go to the website to have the full rules.
Yeah, it's really small written, as you said.
Yeah.
But it's clear. You can.
Yeah. I mean, it's still readable. We used it during the beta testing.
Gonna make some noise?
Yeah. Let's make some noise.
A bit noise. Oh. They feel nice.
Yep. So what do we have? Show us the cards.
Here we have an intense card.
Yes.
Oops. An intense card. It's fast. It's amazement.
Yes.
It's type Eureka. Craftsman.
So what does it do?
Eureka. What does it do? So here we see the prerequisites. That
the things that
needs to be
fulfilled.
Then
the effects.
The effect. So you can search a card in your deck.
Yep. Put it in your hand.
Yeah, then shuffle your deck. And you also gain a 3 chosen color.
So that's roughly all intense thoughts have roughly the same prerequisites. The only thing that changes is what kind of color they need to have in mind. And roughly the same gains when they enter.
Okay. And so we see here that blue cares about just a chosen color.
Yeah, it cares about how much of one color there is in mind. So that's one of the intense thoughts, yeah. Then we have...
Joy.
Yeah, a strong thought from Joy, indeed. What does this one do?
So, yeah, it has slightly different prerequisites.
Yeah.
It's less strong, so...
Mm-hmm.
And you can replay an intense card, which means you can ignore its requirements and play it as a slow pre-play.
Yeah, you pre-play it.
Yeah.
You play it like a slow card on the side. But basically, if you had, for example, the card that we just saw, this one, so you would just... I think we did it not with this card. But basically, you play it as a slow card without having to fulfill its requirement. And then it's going to enter in your next turn.
Which is really strong.
We did beta test it.
Yeah.
It worked, it was strong, but it still wasn't too powerful. It was still decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say decent.
And you gain 2 self.
Yeah.
So yeah, yellow cares about itself.
Exactly. So for example, if there are 4 other yellow cards in the mine, you would gain 2 times 4.
8.
Exactly.
Yay, I passed.
You got to do a bit of math.
I feel like somehow it makes sense if you think of, that it's like joy. So when you're like super happy or like you kind of enjoy it, you want to stay with yourself and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea for the colors. They care about stuff that would make sense with the emotions. Because we didn't mention it, but this whole first set is about Blue Chick's wheel, which is this wheel here, about all the different emotions. And we try to make cards which effects make sense with the emotion they portray. Okay.
Yeah, here we have taking the first step.
More.
Tiny plant.
Well, yeah.
Emerging.
But who drew this plant?
Oh yeah. Fun fact, in the right down corner we see who's the artist of the image. So this one was me. Nick Chaseth, I think also that.
Yes. All the plants.
So it's another strong card.
Yeah.
Which is why we see it has the same prerequisites. You can pre-play 2 strong cards.
Yeah, so the previous one you could pre-play an intense card. Here you can pre-play 2 strong cards.
Yeah.
So it's also quite a good card. But then, you got to keep in mind that when you pre-play them, you lose all the interest of when you would have fast cards or stuff to interact with your opponent. So here, it allows you to bring cards faster, but then you don't have as much interaction with the opponent. So it's a different style of play than you might have otherwise.
Another strong card.
Yes.
Made by the Abyss Garden. I don't know if we can see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gonna move some stuff around.
Okay.
What does this one do?
With this one, you can exchange 2 target thoughts in mind with 2 forgotten thoughts.
Yeah. Kind of a neat idea. If you want to add some more colors in the mind, or you want to remove some things that you might... Because, for example, one of their requirements is that you don't have too many strong thoughts in mind. So here, what you could do as it enters is you could remove some of your strong thoughts that you have in mind and bring some other colors. Yeah, it's really helpful to be able to play your other strong or intense cards.
Yeah. Well, another important fact, when you do that, like, the effects don't happen, right? It's not like you can bring cards and you have some gains again or anything.
Exactly.
Okay, but with this you also gain 2 of the chosen color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Some chill thoughts.
Yeah, a chill thought.
A simple one, but a really good one we found.
And I really like the visual of it. It's really intense eyes.
With a tiny
Made
baby.
by the Abyss Garden. Yes, tiny baby. And a tiny heart.
Well, yes.
Look. Looking forward. So, simple, draw 1 card.
Yes. But it's actually really good because just the fact of putting 1 more of its color in the mind and not having the downside of losing a card for it.
Yeah.
Because you just add a new one. It really helps you to go faster.
Yeah.
And that's a bit what yellow is about. To gain more turn and to have a lot of stuff happen quite fast.
Yeah. And the blue kind of, if I remember, the blue kind of makes things hide.
Yes, they change a lot of stuff in the mind. They kind of tricksters. Because it's amazement, it's surprise, it's distraction, which is all about that. Okay. I guess maybe we can... I guess maybe we can... I don't have nails. We can put them in a... chill, strong and intense.
Okay. So another chill one?
A slow one.
Oh, again, a drawing I really enjoy. Finding balance. So you cancel your next opponent gain.
It's quite nice at slowing the opponent. We used it also a few times.
Yeah.
So yeah. I guess we don't have to spend as much time in every card. We can just go through because we know all of them.
Oh, sorry, chill. Yeah, chill.
Yeah, chill. Oh, okay. One of the best cards.
One of the best cards.
In the chill ecstasy. Serenity.
You cancel gain of one target card in the train of thoughts.
Yes.
And it's fast, so you can just throw it in there if...
Exactly. So if there's a really big card that your opponent is playing, you can cancel it with this one. You can cancel the gain, not the effect.
Yeah.
And also, so there's still some wordings that have changed for the last version. The wording of this card is slightly different. It has the same effect, but it's going to be a bit more clearer. There was a last wave of changes that happened. Okay.
Okay. The chill one.
We have
again.
Yeah,
we know it. Looking forward.
Yes. We know it too.
Again, finding balance.
Oh yay! A fluff.
Yay!
The first fluff, right?
Yeah, I think it's the first fluff, and he has still so much to learn.
Exactly.
Because it's just a tiny fluff.
Because an interesting fact is that each of the type are basically linked to one of the emotions. So all the suns are serenity, all the wizards are surprise, etc. But the fluffs can be in all emotions. Hey. So we are going to find them sprinkled here and there.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
It's just how they are.
It's a thing.
They can be whatever they want.
Okay. So you forget one target thought you have in mind, then draw one card.
Yeah. And also you gain. So the other one, while the other one just drew a card, this one also allows you to gain some influence. And
I feel like it's quite strong because you can really remove a card that you don't want anymore. Yes. Like if you have too many strong cards or intense cards. And you get a card.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice one. Oh, my favorite chill distraction.
Your favorite? Why is it your favorite?
I don't know. I like the theme of it, reoccurring dream, and how it allows you to bring back to your hand some strong or intense card to replay them again in the future. Because you
exchange one target thought you have in mind with one target card you have in hand.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember really enjoying it when we beta tested it, when we played it for the first times. It was a really nice card. Next one.
Oh, well, I really like this too, though.
Yeah, me too.
It's a daydream journey.
Yep.
And you can hide 2 target thoughts in mind with 2 counters.
So how does it work?
So you just flip a thought.
Yes.
So it's like as if it's not there anymore. With 2 counters basically means for 2 turns. Every turn you remove a counter.
Yes. Yeah, for 2 of your turns. Yeah. Or 2 of the opponent's turn. And so when they're hidden, they can't be targeted or counted. It's as if they are not there. But you can still replace them if you place a new card on top of them. They still get forgotten.
Okay. Yeah, that's important to know.
And that's kind of a theme of the blue archetype of this amazement color, is that there's a lot of hiding that also happens. Yeah. So you really mess up the mind, basically.
And you can hide yours or the opponent's thoughts. Okay. Chill. Oh.
Yay.
The intense one.
So we saw it. Ooh. It was the first one we saw.
Oh yeah, Eureka. It was on the package, right?
No, actually on the package is the other intense one.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is Long Lost Memories. Oh.
But yeah, we saw it in the beginning.
Yes.
Oh, Precious Memories.
Yeah.
Another intense one.
Yes.
You can recall all other self. They leave the mind, and you choose the order in which they enter in.
Yes. So it's a unique ability for this color. It's something that you might know if you played Magic the Gathering, which is basically a blink, where you remove the card from the mind here, and you bring it back, so activating its effect and its gains. So it's an intense card, so it's really strong. But basically, you reactivate all your yellow cards, and you choose in which order. Which is kind of important, because they care about how many yellow cards there are in mind. Yeah. So the first one that you reactivate will not give you a lot of gains of influence. But as they get reactivated one by one, as they come back one by one, it's stronger and stronger.
Yeah. And yeah, I think in Magic the Gathering, usually you just blink one card. Here you just do all of the yellow ones.
You do have some cards that blink everything, but they are less usual. We didn't play them, I think. All right.
We've also seen this when we opened it. Yeah,
we play an intense card.
Put it here. Another strong one. Resurfacing thoughts. So you can exchange 2 target thoughts in mind with 2 forgotten thoughts.
Yes, we also saw one.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is that it's fast. So it's also something you can do in response of what your opponent is going to play.
Yeah.
So if your opponent is going to play something that's going to gain a lot from a color, maybe from red, you can use this card and remove 2 of the reds that are in the mind, replace them by something else.
Yeah. Sneaky.
Yes, exactly. Oh yay, another wizard.
Oh, a strong one. Altered memories. So it lets you hide 3 target thoughts with 2 counters.
Yep.
And you gain 2 chosen color.
Yeah. Which is, it can really slow down the play of your opponent.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a control-y color, a bit like in Magic. But you can really try to slow down what the opponent is doing. And we have the other fluff.
We have another fluff. Deep meditation. So it lets you add 2 turns.
Yes.
Okay.
Simple.
It seems quite chill. Simple, yes. You just take time to...
Because you start with 12 turns. So 6 each, basically. Because every time you finish a turn... Well, yes. No, it works. I thought it should have done.
Oh, no.
So you start with 12 turns. And so every time you finish a turn, your opponent starts... It's oddly explained. So there's 12 turns. That's it.
Yeah, it's just
there's 12
turns. Every player has 12 turns.
Yeah, exactly. No, every player has 6 turns.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got confused. Yes,
we both got confused. All right.
Chilithod. We know this one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
We know this one.
Back. Because, also it's quite important to have multiple versions of the same card to have kind of a stable strategy, a stable plan, where you know that in your deck, you're likely to have this card come in your hand. Because also that's something that I thought about with the 36 card decks. Mm-hmm. It's way less than what we are used to in Magic, but we still have this rule that you can have up to 4 of the same card in the deck.
Yeah.
So it leads to a bit more stability in the deck. Where if you want, you can really have only a few cards, but multiply by 4.
Yeah.
So I mean, here it's randomized, so we don't exactly know what's up. And it leads probably to more interesting play patterns.
Another chill one. Long-term project. It lets you again add a turn.
Yes, only one.
And you gain 1 self.
Yes.
You really like the suns, how they're made.
Yeah, me too. They're kind of cute.
Yeah.
Cute and...
a bit mysterious.
Yeah, exactly. Cute and curious. Another fluff.
Yeah, they're just cute.
Curious.
Well, we know it. Deep meditation.
Yes.
But it's another drawing.
Yes. Wait. Deep meditation. Well, that's fun.
Oh.
Well, that's something I might want to try.
Oh, okay.
So they have the exact same name. So I think I'm gonna change something there.
Okay.
The name is gonna swap.
So we haven't seen exactly this?
Yeah, because we are still before the 1st of November. So there's still it's basically the last time that we playtest these cards. And so we'll have the last changes on before the 1st of November.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this one lets you, again, hide a target with 2 counters.
Yes.
And you gain a chosen color.
Yeah. That's decent. Because, basically, there's kind of a choice. Because you have some cards that allows you to hide more, but you don't gain anything. So you have kind of this choice of a card's effect being quite strong, or for you to slowly accumulate influence as you do tiny effects. So you can kind of have this balance to account for when you choose your cards.
Yeah, makes sense. We know it, so much to learn.
Exactly.
Chill card. We know
dream.
it.
We have the other one.
Oh yeah, this was on the package.
Yes.
Long lost memories. It's an intense one. You can exchange any number of thoughts in mind with forgotten thoughts.
Yes. Which, once again, is really good. Because you could basically, if you're lucky and you have a lot of cards a lot of thoughts that you've forgotten, you can really make the mind full of one color.
Yeah.
And you can...
Yeah, that's nice.
It really has a big impact on the game.
And also, it's fast, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
answer if you know,
something.
Yeah. And also you get a 3 chosen color, which is a lot.
Yeah, especially because the effect happens before the game. So you can first pack the mind with any color you want and then do that.
Good. Yep. Oh, sorry. Intense. We know it.
Yes.
Precious memories. Strong one. We know it. Taking the first step.
One we don't know. We haven't seen yet. No need to break it.
You're too excited. It's a touch of love.
Yes.
So you gain 4 self if an opponent card targets one thought you have in mind this turn.
So basically what happens is that you play this. So you play this in response of something else.
Yes.
It then enters the mind. And for the rest of the turn, if the opponent ends up targeting one of your thoughts, you will gain 4 times self.
Yeah.
Because usually the strong thoughts, so joy is a strong thought, they would usually gain 2. They would gain 2 self. But this one, it would gain double this amount if something happens. Because otherwise it gains nothing.
Yeah.
But if something happens, there's a greater reward, basically.
So am I right with the thought that if you play it in return, then this enters first?
Yeah, it enters
and then
first.
After... So you know that, you're going to be targeted.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The thing is that we tinkered a bit with the rules. And now what happens is that when the card enters in the mind, then you decide any targets. So you choose your targets.
Yeah.
Beforehand, we did it a bit differently. The initial idea was that you first state your targets, etc. But we find that it's way more interesting if you can change your mind as new cards are being played.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit more simpler also to do.
Yeah.
So now the opponent might, let's say they would make you forget some thoughts in the mind.
Yeah.
Now they can choose in response to that to just not forget your thoughts, but forget their thoughts.
I see.
So there's a back and forth that's quite interesting, we found.
Okay.
Another wizard.
The incoherent thoughts. So you exchange 4 target thoughts, position in mind. So you can change position with your thoughts and your opponent's thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
Which can make you help if you need less strong cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something that's important in this game, is that basically the mind is 12 chambers, 12 places where you can put cards, and 6 of them are yours, 6 of them are your opponent's, and you can only play cards in your things. And here, for example, you see that for a strong card, they kind of want to not be more than 2 in your mind. So in the 6 chambers that you have, in the 6 spots that you have, you can only have maximum 2 strong cards.
Yeah.
And so what you can do is you can kind of mess up with your opponent's side of the board and put a lot of strong or intense cards in their side. Yeah. And they will have a hard time to cast their next powerful thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the idea behind this card.
I feel like it also makes sense if we think about our minds that, you know, we have a lot of thoughts, but a lot of them are kind of chill thoughts in the background that you don't really notice. Yeah. We can only have a few really intense thoughts that are in front.
A few really strong and one intense that's really at the forefront of the mind. Yeah. I mean, that's the idea behind this setup.
We know it.
Yes.
Inner peace.
And speaking of, you know, how it's supposed to work with this theory and with these emotions, here, basically for all the cards Serenity, the effects are kind of meant to make you feel safe. So this card just states that, you know, no matter what will happen now, it's going to be fine. The opponent is not going to go ahead. He's not going to get ahead. You're going to be chill. Yeah.
Okay. So if you play the deck with rage inside, you're going to be all angry while playing.
Yeah, that's a bit the idea. That's also probably why we prefer these colors, because we are more into less aggressive emotions.
Long-term project, we know it.
We do?
Yeah.
I think we probably saw most of them by now.
Finding balance, yes. Looking forward, yes.
Yeah, to draw a card. And finally, inner peace. Oh, no, there are others.
In the beginning, I just put them underneath, so my bad. Inner peace, we know it. And this we've already seen before.
Actually, did we? I mean, we know them, but we, Oh, another daydream journey.
Another daydream journey. Another Eureka.
Yes, this one we saw, and this one we saw too.
Yes, offering my love.
Yes. So in most of the decks, I did some calculations so that it's kind of optimized to be able to play with them. So because of the way the strong cards and the intense card works and their requirements, in most of the decks what you're going to find is there will be 5 intense cards, 9 strong cards, and 22 chill cards. And so we tried that as we beta tested, and it seemed to work quite well. There wasn't too many times where we couldn't play our strongest things.
Yeah.
And as we created this game, I also wanted, because that's something that I wasn't a big fan of with some of... so we played a lot of Magic, and that's something that I wasn't a big fan of in Magic, is that the tiny cards didn't have much of an impact. They didn't do much. Well, here I feel like all the cards have kind of a unique effect, even if they're tiny, and they still have an impact on the game. Like this one can really slow down your opponent by hiding things, and you have stuff that have a big impact. We wanted kind of to have for the games to don't take that long, but to have big moments that happen here and there.
Yeah.
And so I think we kind of achieved it, as we, we're also going to see with the next sets how it's going to evolve. But yeah. Should we try to go for the... Should I show you the next...
oh, yes, please.
The next deck? And try to be a bit faster.
I'm going to wrap this up. Oh.
Thank you, my friend. So, the next one, so the one I'm going to play, will be Alarmed Fondness. So, Alarmed Fondness, it's composed of Admiration, so this light green color, and the dark green color, which is Terror. Yes. So, Admiration cares about its friends, so Terror and Ecstasy. And Terror cares about itself and its friends. So its friends would be Admiration and Amazement. So something else that's going to be interesting, and why these decks are kind of together in this Duel Box, is because here, like for example, these two colors, they work together, but they work even better if your opponent plays some of the other colors. So for example, Terror cares about itself, Admiration and Amazement. And so if your opponent plays some Amazement card, it also furthers your own play.
So would you say if we play with these two decks, the one that has this one has an advantage?
I wouldn't really say... I mean, it has an advantage in this peculiar situation. but on average, I would say that the cards for Ecstasy, it only cares about itself.
Yeah.
But I would say that they are kind of strong and slightly stronger than some of the cards that we would see that really, which colors are kind of really useful, that care about a lot of colors.
Yeah.
Because something that you will also see is that, for example, with Ecstasy, you require a certain amount of yellow cards to be able to play the strong and the intense ones.
Yeah.
And for other colors, you will require less or more, depending on what kind of colors they care for. But anyway, so here's the deck box. Also, I really enjoy these deck boxes.
Yeah, they're nice.
That you can with the hook.
Yeah.
So we have an examples of 2 intense thoughts that you can pull in this deck. One is learning from others, which is quite a special one. It allows you to gain 3 times the next opponent gain.
That's a lot.
Yes, that's a lot. But it doesn't have any other gain. And also, it's the first card we've seen that is already here, which is a speed that's quite important in the game.
Yes, so the other one doesn't have any already here.
No.
I didn't realize.
Amazement and Ecstasy don't have any already here.
Okay.
And basically it depends on the type, because the idea is that it should kind of make sense. So here, since it's the intense admiration are shrooms, so it kind of makes sense that they're already here, like they're anchored to the ground.
Yeah.
You have other types that behave a bit like that. And you have terror. And the example for terror is Nothing is for Certain, a card drawn by Nick Jay-Z. Mysterious. So once again, you have the rules inside with this website to go to if you want the entire rules, the entire rule book, kind of book, with all the keywords. Because what we try to do is to add as many explanations of the keywords as we could and to make them as simple as possible underneath the cards. If I show you an example of that, for example, you can see like you have the effect of the card that's in bold, and in parentheses you have some kind of explanation, further explanation of what this means. But from the beta testing that we did, most of the keywords are kind of clear. They're kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, most.
But yeah, if you need some explanation, there's this website to go to.
Then I guess usually once you read it, then it really makes sense, you know it.
Yeah. So the first one, we indeed have the one, learning from others. Gain 3 times the next opponent gain. We played it. Initially it was 4 times. It was really strong.
Yeah.
We dialed it down a bit. 3 times should do the trick. Then we have a terror card, the one we saw once again. So this one, it's a static. So there will be way more static cards in the next set. But in this one, what it means basically is that as long as this card is on the mind, its effect applies. And so its effect says that all cards are fast. All your cards are fast. Important notion. So, which means that basically all your cards could be used to answer the opponent's cards. And the next one is a strong thought.
Ooh, a slug.
It's trust. Yes, it's a slug. Its name is vulnerability. And once again, it doesn't have a gain, but it only has an effect. The effect asks you to show 0 or more cards. So show means that you show them from your hand. And then you gain 4 times the number of friends that you showed from your hand.
Yeah, so it's also kind of a gain.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Usually when cards don't have a specific gain, the effect is linked to a gain. And so here, you might gain way more with what you show, but then you don't have the gain linked to what's in the mind. Another strong card from Fear, which is the flow of change. So the idea with Fear is that they have a lot of fast cards, like this one, that is supposed to break what the opponent is doing, to change, to mess up with what they are trying to achieve. So this one says, choose the targets of one target card's effects in the train of thoughts. So the idea behind it is that when you play this card, in response of another of your opponent's card, you're going to be able to choose what the effects target. So for example, if your opponents would ask you to forget a card, then you're the one who's going to choose which card gets forgotten.
Yeah.
And probably a card from your opponent. So it kind of...
that's sneaky.
Yeah, it kind of steals an effect of the opponent most of the time. But some effects don't have targets, so it depends. Another fear. Unforeseen events.
Oh, I really like the doodle.
Yeah, me too. I like this one. Oh, and the next one I really like. So choose entering position of one target card in the train of thoughts. So a similar idea. Here you choose what where the card will enter, in what chambers. So every player has 6 spots where it can put cards, and so you can force your opponent's next thought to enter and, for example, replace another card. Now we have the first chill acceptance card.
So you really control a bit the opponent in this.
Yes, that's the idea.
Yeah.
You kind of really mess up with its decisions.
Yeah.
Acceptance. A tiny fluff.
Yeah. He gains friends.
He's all cute. Yes. So this one, usually there's a rule of thumb that every chill thought, if they gain 1 time their thing, the strong cards they gain 2 times, and the intense cards they gain 3 times.
Yeah.
So here, this one, it breaks a bit these rules because it gains twice its amount of friends. So friends are its neighbors on the wheel. So if you look at Pluchik's wheel, admiration is here. It's this light green color. And so its friends are its neighbors, meaning the dark green and the yellow one. So ecstasy and terror are its friends. And so this one gains that, but in exchange, the opponent also gains, but it gains neutral. So neutral, we are not sure if it's gonna stick to the other sets, because it's the only card in the set that uses neutral. Neutral, so you have self, which is, let's say so self would be the same color as itself, friends would be its neighbors, tribe would be itself and its neighbors, so the 3. And neutral is the perpendicular, so these ones. The ones that aren't at the opposite, but are perpendicular to it. So here it means amazement and vigilance.
The amazement and vigilance are blue and orange.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we are with green and...
So here we are with green. And so the neutral ones are the ones that kind of break the circle, perpendicular to it.
Oh, I thought neutral is the opposite one. Okay.
Confusion. So yeah. So I have a feeling that it's not gonna stick neutral. I still wanted to keep it for this fluff, to just see.
Okay.
We couldn't play that much during the playtest times, but I feel like it's a bit of a unique idea, and I wanted to see where it could lead. Next we have another chill card, which is from the acceptance. Now it's a seedling, and its effect is that players draw 1 card. So that's kind of the idea with this color, is that it will give things to your opponent, but it will also get things, and usually it's good things. So drawing a card is really good, but also it gains. So if we remember, when we looked at the chill cards for ecstasy, so the serenity cards, its effect was only to draw a card. Here, you draw a card and you gain some influence, but the counterweight is that you also give a card to the opponent. Est-ce que... I started to speak French.
Yeah, I thought so.
Do you like this color that gives stuff to both players?
I feel like it's more of a thing that you would like.
Wow.
I think you like to mess with the other
it's not
person
really
a bit,
messing,
and to have this thing of you gain something, but then you also give something, and it seems like a nice idea.
Well, yeah.
I think I would need to get used to it. So I think
I
would probably.
You would need to get used to.
I think so. Yeah.
To the idea of sharing. That's interesting.
I think then my mind is set on winning, and then I don't want to give stuff. My challenge mode is on.
All right, that's interesting. So another seedling, which is changing opinion. So here you draw a card from opponent deck, and then you discard a card. So every color has kind of a unique way to draw cards, usually. And so the way that acceptance does it is to draw from the opponent's deck, which kind of fits with the idea of acceptance, trust, admiration, is that you really care about the opponent, and so you kind of want similar things as it wants. And I wasn't sure when I designed these cards, but what happens is that actually it's a really good thing, because usually the cards of your opponent, the cards that you draw from your opponent deck, especially if they're strong or intense, it's cards that you will always be able to play, because your opponent will have the colors that you would need to play them.
Yeah.
And it can really, they won't expect it. It can really mess them up. Another chill card, which is apprehension. Push to act. So its effect is that opponents must pre-play one thought next turn, or they discard one card. So the idea is that if in the next turn the opponent doesn't play a slow card, they have to discard one card. So it kind of pushes choices on the opponent.
If they don't have a slow card, they also have to.
Yes, they also have to discard a card. So it's the idea behind apprehension. You really want your opponent to kind of dread what you're gonna play. Another one, the need to change. This one states, discard one card, then take 2 target thoughts opponent forgot. So that's also a reason why these two colors go well together. The terror and admiration. So we saw that admiration cared about the drawing from the opponent's deck, and terror cares about drawing from the opponent's forgotten ones. So from the thoughts that have been forgotten by your opponent.
Yeah.
So they both care about the cards of your opponent, which is, it's nice when they go together, these two colors.
Yeah.
Same card. Oh, the same one that we saw before, push to act.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, an intense card.
A new shroom.
Exactly, the other shroom of the set. So for each set, there's 2 intense cards, 3 strong cards, and 5 chill cards for each of the colors, for each of the emotions.
Yeah.
That are unique.
There's always the same of each color.
Yes.
Okay.
There's always 10 in total for each color. So it's a shroom, it's already here once again. And it's mimicking the good. So this one has a gain, so it gains 3 frames as it enters, but it also has an effect. And its effect is to copy the effect of one target opponent card in the train of thoughts. So a bit similar to what the other shroom did, where the other shroom kind of mimicked. So the idea with admiration is that the other shroom kind of was admiring of the gain of influence that the other player had, and so he tried to mimic it and to outdo it. Here it's the same idea. It admires the effect of another's thought, and it tries to mimic it. So that's the idea behind this card. And yeah, we didn't mention it, but already here, this speed that they have is something that's really powerful.
Yeah.
We saw it firsthand.
Yes. So when you play this,
yes,
then the opponent can't answer anymore.
Exactly. So the train of thought, the way it works is that when someone plays a card, the opponent can answer it with something that's fast or already here. So let's say, play this card, the opponent answers it. Then you can again answer it with something else that's fast. So let's say, for example, this one. I don't have nails. But when something enters to the train of thought that's already here, then it shuts down the train of thought. So nothing else can enter. And then they each enter one at a time the mind, and their effects happen, and their gains happen. So yeah, it's a really strong speed.
Yeah.
Next one, we have another intense thought.
Ooh.
Which is another terror run.
I am watching you.
Exactly. And its effect is that to make your opponent show their hand and to steal one card from it. So then you put it in your hand. So yeah, that's the idea that goes really well with the emotion of terror, that your opponent knows everything about you and can take your most precious things.
Damn.
So yeah, for these intense thoughts, they really embody the emotion.
Yeah, I can see how the opponent can feel terrorized in this game.
Exactly. Up. Then we have a strong thought, which is another slug, letting others choose. That's a bit the idea behind trust. So here, opponent must answer your next card or they discard one card. So you kind of let them decide whether or not, because probably what you're going to do afterwards is that you're going to play a card that doesn't necessarily need any answer, and your opponent wouldn't like to waste one of their answers on it.
Yeah.
But if they don't, then they would have to discard a card, which depending on the situation might be preferable. It really depends. This one we saw. Yeah. It's another strong card. You choose the entering position. The third fear that we haven't seen yet, which states that you can exchange ownership of 2 targets card in a train of thoughts. So the wording has also slightly changed, I think, on this one. I'm not sure. But yeah, the idea is that you basically steal one card in a train of thought and the opponent gains another one. So the best case scenario is that you have in the train of thought a chill thought that's not really strong, and the opponent plays a really strong, an intense thought. Yeah. And you manage to exchange them. Which is, it's a really strong effect, but it's kind of hard to make it work. It's a bit...
You need to find the right moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You also need to be lucky a bit to have...
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing you kind of play around it and you try to make it happen. You really try to wait until your opponent plays a really big thing. A slow card. A slow chill card. Sharing emotions. Which simply states that players draw 2 cards. Which is... It's really a lot. Yeah. It can happen here because your opponent also draws these 2 cards. But it's a really strong effect. Then we have another acceptance, which is new beliefs. The effect is that you discard 2 cards and then you draw 2 cards from your opponent's deck. So it's kind of a loot thingy in Magic, where you would discard the cards that you don't really want, you don't really need, and you would draw cards in exchange.
Yeah. But from the opponent.
Exactly. So this one we know. You discard and then you take from the opponent's forgotten thoughts. A new one. Preparing the future. Put 1 card down, it becomes fast. So it can be quite useful, because usually the effects that the cards have are kind of... the strength of the effect are kind of based on their speed. And so turning a card fast can have big impacts, because it might not have been thought of as to be being able to be used as a fast card.
So you mean that slow cards are usually a bit stronger than fast cards?
Yeah, they're way stronger, usually. Okay. The fluff.
Oh, yay.
The apprehension fluff. So simple, take 1 target thought opponent forgot. And you gain some influence. So if we remember the simple draw, computer shut down, it happens. So what I wanted to say is that we saw with the yellow cards, the simple one that allows you to draw 1 card and is the only effect. Here this one basically gives you another card, but also gives you some influence. And the reason why it seems a bit stronger is that you take the card from the thoughts that the opponent forgot, which means that you can't do it in the early game. Yeah. You have to wait some time, and you won't necessarily be able to do it until a while. So that's why it has a slightly different reading. Another card that we haven't seen.
Ready to act.
Exactly.
But slow.
Yes, slow. Yeah. Put 2 cards down, they become fast. Same idea as the other. But I think the other also gave you some influence, while this one doesn't. But it allows you to put 2 cards as fast. We've seen this one. We've seen this strong one that allows you to see your opponent's hand and to steal one card from it.
Yeah. Oh.
A new strong thought, a slug. So we've seen this mechanic of showing cards from your hand, which goes really well with trust, because basically you accept that your opponent sees your hand and the cards you have, and in exchange you get a reward. So here it says show 0+ cards, then gain 3 cards visible in your hand. So let's say you have 5 cards in your hand, and there's one that you might not want to show, so you're going to show 4 cards. So you're going to gain 4 times 3?
12.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's quite a good card. This one we know. That's choose the targets of a card in the train of thoughts.
Yeah.
This one we know too. Choose the entering position. We know this chill thoughts. Players draw 1 card. You gain 1 influence times the number of friends in mind. We know the fluff. I think we know this one, just in case. New beliefs. Discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards from opponent deck.
Yeah.
I think we've seen all the cards. The fluff from apprehension. Ready to act. Apprehension fluff, which is called touching the unknown. Ready to act and preparing the future.
Yay.
And there we go. We have the full deck. Any thought?
Looking forward to play.
Yeah, me too. It's been a while. I'm not sure why we read all the cards, but we did. Alright, so that makes the second deck. So we kind of discussed a bit how we wanted to go on explaining the rules, or probably have a few games on camera to see how it plays. And I'm guessing the idea is that probably we'd want to have some kind of tiny duel.
Yeah,
like the
tournament.
the first 2-3 wins with this deck, with these 2 decks. And then we can see, because we also have the 72 cards of these colors. And so probably the loser could open some of these cards, and because we are not going to open them now, because they are basically similar cards, but just to optimize the decks. But yeah, then the loser of the tournament can try to create a deck on its own, maybe with even more than 2 colors. And try to beat
I think that'd be nice
the
to be able
incumbent winner.
to use more colors.
Yeah. Alright. Thank you. It took a while. It took more than an hour. I didn't think it would take that long. Because basically, we bought... so anyway, you need to buy these products beforehand to be able to check if everything is right. And there are other stuff that we are probably going to open at some point. So we have 2 other decks. Dreadful Bewilderment and Irritative Acuity, which...
Oh, it's 3 colored decks.
Each use 3 colors.
Yeah.
But also... because basically there's 2 Duel Box that we designed. The first one is with the first 4 colors. The second one is this one, with the 4 remaining colors. A thought? Beautiful, amazing. Also some simple 18 cards packs.
With all colors.
With all colors, and as you allude to, we also have one of each that we might try to just open them and create one deck from them. We'll see.
Yeah, it's pretty.
With their wrapping, because we just received them a few days ago. And yeah, actually there's the last thing that I don't think we are gonna open on video, I'm not sure. Which is basically a draft box, which contains simply big boosters and empty deck box. So the idea is that you would just draft it. You would draft these, there's 2 72 times 72 cards big boosters. And with them you kind of create 2 decks.
That you can name yourself.
Exactly. Look, isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
You can write.
It's an empty space. Yeah. You can write in any language you want.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because you only do it in English, but if you want you can write in French, mon deck.
Yeah.
Or in German.
Or a Swiss German.
Yeah. What's the Swiss German of mon deck?
Mistake.
Mistake. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it looks. So there was 1 or 2 tiny mistakes that we caught now that we are gonna rectify for the last time. Before it's available on the 1st of November.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing this video is gonna be available afterwards anyway.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't know either. Probably. So yeah. Bye, I guess.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, it took a while. I hope you enjoyed this tiny dive into the first Duel Box of Mind Worlds. Next unboxing, we will go through the second Duel Box and all the tiny gems hidden inside. Thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time.